Yo, yo, yo. Hope everybody's good. Midday edition coming right to you. I wanted to get on before I got too busy today. Got some meetings, conversations that I need to have, but I didn't want to forget about my people on Thursdays, and we come in and just bless the folks. If you don't know who I am, DK Ham's a digital theologian, bridging technology and theology, and today I want to talk about unleashing some of the digital tools that I have that I'm privy to. And some people in our industry don't share well. We'll talk about that too. So do me a huge favor, share this with somebody who needs to see this on their lunch break. Man, and we'll get right to it. What's up, y'all? Again, I'm DK Hammers, a digital theologian. Please share this out with your community. Like, follow, subscribe, all the things. And I want to share with you today tips and tools of the industry that may help your church or even your ministry or even what you're doing in the marketplace. So I'm going to give you the game. I'm going to give it to you. So again, share this out with somebody who needs to see it. And if not, it is all good. What's up to the one person that's on? What's going on? What's up, y'all? Again, I pray y'all having a good day. Y'all know we just came out of Easter. People are still reeling. And that's cool. So I just wanted to come on today and share some tips that may be beneficial for each one of you. If you are in digital church or the digital space or podcasting. And I want to open this up for questions if there may be any. Many times I'm unable to get to a lot of the people in my inbox. And so I want to open the questions up here so that people can have the conversation with me today and not have a delay in it. Right? So that's good. All right, cool. So I was sitting here thinking, a lot of times you hear me having conversations about digital church and what that is and how we're supposed to move about that. And I just released a podcast. If you hadn't checked it out on Social Media Church Network, I released a podcast about a church who went away from doing digital in the way that we would normally do it. They didn't necessarily stop filming it or stop streaming it. They simply said, hey, if you want to come to church, come to church. And if you don't, then you'd have to catch the replay as we move about. So today, I want to talk about the tools that will help you succeed here as it relates to either podcasting or digital church. So if you're just coming on, please, I see 3 people that were on. Please share this with the community. Let me know you're here in the chat. And I want to get right to it. I want to get right to it to be a blessing to somebody. Number 1, if you are doing digital church, you want to be probably familiar with an application called Church Online. All right. So let me see. I don't want to pull it that way. Church Online ultimately is an application that allows you to run a full interface in terms of conversations on YouTube or your website and communicate with your people digitally. It is a free application that is offered through Life Church. Doesn't cost you a dime. You can set it up. You can run it every single Sunday and have conversation and be able to interact with your people whenever you decide. Church Online, free. I'm going to get my free stuff out the way because I know a lot of people, they're not rocking with the free. We have to pay a little bit. So Church Online is an excellent resource, excellent tool. Please use that if you're using it to stream to your website, Church Online. All right, Church Online also has applications for you to keep up with your numbers. So if you need a place to keep up with your numbers, in terms of numerics, Church Online will do that for you. So go use Church Online. It's a free feature. Shout out to Life Church. Another thing as it relates to church that you can use that may be free Metricool, Metricool. This is a application that allows you to stream from a social media platform context, not stream, allows you to post. And this gives you an opportunity to post from one place. Again, another feature that doesn't cost you anything. I used to talk about the features about Microsoft. Microsoft with TechSoup is starting to charge again. So you can't get a free email. You may be able to get an email for like $2, $3, $4 or $5 at most. And normally those emails cost anywhere at $12 per license. So use that application as well. And if you got any questions or concerns, feel free, my brother or my sister, to leave those in the chat for me, and we'll pick up those concerns. So let's see, what other applications am I using? Right now, I just started using, these are my wife's. I just started using the Rodecaster Pro to do some of those small, intimate videos that are really quick, 1 minute video. So if you have a pastor or a leader, you can go get the same microphone or something similar on Amazon for $35. Does the same thing, has good quality, good sound. And you want to do those to just informational, real quick hits in terms of turning around content at a very fast pace. Use that. All right. So we talked about microphones. We talked about some applications. So let's talk about podcasting. Salute to the one person here. Love you. Let's talk about podcasting. A lot of those applications aren't free. And many of us are hyper confused about what podcasting is and what it looks like. For instance, just because you have a microphone in any setting does not mean you're podcasting, particularly. So there are certain things that go with podcasting. So when you're on the microphone, and I've said this before a million times, when you're on the microphone, yes, you can do this, but then there's a whole nother set of tools that you have to use outside of the microphone. And that's on the post-production edit. Now, I will tell you this, and I will say this real slow. I'm about, I would say, 3 or 4 months from opening a podcasting company that will help you do all of this. Because many of us, what I'm learning, especially if you're a thought leader, a pastor, you don't have time to do pre-production. It's not your thing. You want to set up, have a conversation, and then be up out of there. And so my job is to come behind you and help you with that. And so some tools that will help you in the area of podcasting. Let's go. Tool number 1, Answer the Public. Free tool. They give you the first 3 searches for free. It allows you to find topics and subject matters that you are passionate about. So that means you have something to have a conversation about as it relates to whatever topic you're on. Answer the public. Why is this important? Many of us kind of ramble, not a whole lot of thought process, not a whole lot of content to give. Now you have something like Answer the Public that you can pull data from and have meaningful conversations in a very real and honest way. Answer the Public is a great resource and tool because it captures SEOs that's going across your screens, pull that information to you and show you what is the most searched information and what are people really connected to. So Answer the Public is really helpful in terms of content creation. The next thing in terms of podcast and content creation that may be free is also ChatGPT. I can't stress enough, if you are a leader of any kind and you are not using ChatGPT, you are putting yourself in a position where you're going to outdate yourself fast. Very fast. So please, ma'am, please, sir, go use the free version of ChatGPT to help you harness this information and come out with something like a script so you can use that and you can be organized as it relates to your thoughts for podcasting. Also, podcasting ideas, quotes, things of that nature. ChatGPT is a very excellent tool in that regard. Point blank, full stop, period. All right, another tool that you want to get up on. If y'all don't go start using Canva, y'all gonna make me scream. A lot of y'all refuse to use Canva, Easel, Post Small Wall, Adobe, any of the kind. And then you wonder why your flyers, your content don't look the part. You got to use the tool correctly, family. So please, ma'am, please, sir, under the sound of my voice, go use that tool correctly. All right, so we got Canva. We have Metrical we talked about. Another one that's really good in terms of editing is CapCut. I've been really using a lot of CapCut to cut smaller videos. CapCut is an excellent resource. Doesn't cost you a thing. They do have a free version. I use the paid for version, but CapCut is that app. It's that app. And it complements, and you can put CapCut anywhere. So please go find these applications and use them. We in 2024. Flyers, material, documents should not look fuzzy, hazy. They should be crystal clear and ready to go. Okay? That works for podcasting and church, y'all. But if you're listening and you have a question, please, ma'am, please, sir, go ahead and drop that question in there for me. It'll be greatly appreciated. I really would appreciate that. All right, how much time I got? 12 minutes. I think I'm going to do 15 or 20 minutes today. If there are not any questions, then I'm going to go somewhere else and get that information to help other leaders. I've been thinking about something. I've been thinking about it. No, I'll say that for later. I'll do that later. I will do that later. I won't do it today. Most definitely later. That's a conversation. But just know other things are coming. Robin, I owe you a phone call. I see you, sis. I love you. Other things are coming. Big things are coming. And I'm just super elated to kind of show you what God has been doing. A word that God gave me, now that we've talked about the applications, and I just want to share this word. And then once I share it, I'm going to get off here. Because there are other things I need to be doing. Okay. One of my bosses is on here, and he is acting out of control. But I'm going to answer the question before I say that. Let me make sure I write this down. Scaffolding. All right. Shout out to Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's one of my clients, as well as Dr. Larry T. Kruder. Please understand, if you need any leadership, content, speaking, direction, go holler at Larry T. Kruder, man. Please. Pastor Kruder has a question. And here's his question. Hey, I'm going to answer all these questions that come in here. I'm going to try. How do I take my content and make consistent posts? All right. Man, I'm finna give up the game. But that's okay. How do I take my content and make consistent posts? A lot of us on Facebook particularly use Facebook to just kind of have conversation. And in having that conversation, we have some really dope posts that could easily be harnessed, taken, used in another area or not. What happens is we put it out, we get a lot of traction on it, and then we forget about it, and it comes up in our Facebook memories, and we wish we would have done something different, and we didn't. So here's what I suggest you do. All right, because you said, how do I take my content and make consistent posts? So we're going to use Pastor Larry for example because he's a pastor. So every pastor, in my opinion, is a content creator by definition. So Pastor Larry has sermons that he preaches every Sunday and Wednesday. We're not including the sermons that he gives me on the phone. But he got sermons. And so easily we could take his sermons and say, let's transcribe the sermons. I can't stress enough the importance of transcription. Transcription is one of the most important things in a video. There's metadata, there's transcription in the video and in the sound. Those things are important to your video. So we'll go pull his content that day. We'll run it through a machine. That machine could be ChatGPT. That machine could be something else that actually harnesses or takes and transcribes sermons. We'll prompt something like ChatGPT and say, now provide me 10 posts that's within this realm. Boom, it'll spit out 10 posts. We have what is called in the industry evergreen content that can be used for content development or content posting later. That is the process. Every person should have that. Every leader should be duplicating that. Here's why I say that. Because you, my friend, are producing content at a high clip. And you can do evergreen content. And in doing evergreen content, that means you have content around the clock that can be pulled and posted that can be used to your benefit. Now, I just gave you one of my processes. Larry, you're going to make me take this video down. You know I'm notorious for taking a video down. I just gave you one of the processes of how to expand your content beyond just one conversational piece. So if I did that with Facebook, I took a Facebook post, I run that same method. Give me 10 posts like it. I go in there and curtail the post to my audience. I have 10 pieces of unique data and information that could be used for more interaction. Period, point blank. All right. I see what Larry's doing. Okay, so I mentioned evergreen content. Evergreen content. Here's what evergreen content means. Evergreen content is search optimized content that is continually relevant and stays fresh for readers over a long period of time. That's what evergreen content is. Timeless content that they can always be used over a period of time. Quotes, Bible verses, let's say a prayer that was prayed at church. Let's say somebody said something 10 years ago. We can use that in the content creation space. Boy, this is good stuff right here. Larry, what are you talking about? Scaffolding. Why are you using internal language outside of its normal place? All right. If y'all hadn't known, me and Pastor Larry are going to always kind of wrestle and tussle, but he has a sermon about scaffolding that's really important, and y'all need to go listen to it. But when he's saying scaffolding, he's talking about how do I structure my content on social media? Right? What does that structure look like? How can I build the content on social media so that it can be used? As a person that's a preacher pastor, your pastor is going to give out a lot of content. And then you're going to also be a creative and you're going to give out your version of content. But that sermon is going to give out a lot of content. It's intended to do that. So you want to be able to have the sermon as a realm of content, testimonies and stories as the realm of content, text evergreen content as the realm of content, and then you want to have just quirky videos that may happen at church. One video I seen early on TikTok was a video of a pastor, and he's giving his closing remarks, and the fire alarms go off. I thought that was really dope. It wasn't on purpose. You can see in his face it wasn't on purpose, and he immediately says, "Hey guys," and go with God and get out of here. Goes off the stage, turns off his mic, and says, "Hey, now hurry up and get out of here." Some of those moments are really interesting, important moments that drive content and people to your site. They saw a human experience. It wasn't a mistake. Fire alarm went off, and we use that content for use. Okay? Great questions, man. Great questions. Analytics. Hey, whatever questions y'all got, I got time. So I'm just answering these questions. So this is dope. Analytics. How do I read analytics to know what content that need to post, where, reels, videos, all that? Good question. It's hard to read analytics when you don't post consistently. So analytics can be read when you have a consistent workflow. If you're looking for a consistent workflow for your social media content, I'm going to give it to you right now. Number one, evergreen content. Let's say we use Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah will have quotes from, let me start off. I'm going to start off what I did with Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah, before they had reels, I used to post quotes direct. Mount Moriah is an older, modern traditional church. Those quotes went over well because those people enjoy posts with photos in them. That's about understanding culture and context. And since that, now you can build off of that. You do that once a week. You come back and hit you on Tuesday. We're going to drop a reel on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, or on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to drop the reels those days. And the days that we don't have reels, we're going to put evergreen content or content that needs to be posted. That's 5 pieces of unique content every single time on your social media platforms that aren't events that you're having within your church. Unique content that is happening right now. Right? Cool. So you have those unique content that you're happening right now. You post that and you go into your particular system. I mentioned Metricool. That's what I'm using right now. Where it could be Buffer. It could be Hootsuite. It could be Sprout Social, whichever the case may be. You go in there and you see what time it's best to post that content. You schedule that content, you push that content out, and there you have it. Social media management 101. And it will also have analytics. And when you're posting consistently, consistency provides analytics or a window to view data. And you can see what works and what doesn't. Amen. Pastor Terry Brown. Salute, man. Happy birthday to you as well. He says, what kind of camera I'm using? This is not an ad. It's an Osbot camera. It's the camera I'm using. I also have a Logitech Stream camera if I want to do vertical videos. I also have that. I used to have a Canon T6 that I would stream through, but the T6 is slower than normal, so we can't use that. So I went to an Osbot streaming camera that allows me to stream. It shows this. Now, it's in the middle of the day here. It is 2:23, and the Osbot camera is showing blurred out background and things of that nature. Now, I know it's easy for us to focus on the camera, and the camera is important. But lighting, I can't stress enough that having great lighting is important to you. If you're going to do this type of thing, where you're going to have content streamed, do Bible study at your home or whatever the case may be, you got to have good lighting, family. The camera is of no good, no consequence to you if the lighting is off. So if you invest in a camera, invest in good lighting. Great questions, man. Great questions. Absolutely amazing question. If you're just coming on, DK Hammer is a digital theologian, bridging technology and theology, and I was talking about some applications that you can use for your church online ministry to help you. I was talking about podcasting, and now we're talking about content creation. Please put your questions in the chat if you want me to answer more questions. I got about 15 more minutes, and I'm going to answer the questions that y'all put on the screen as best I can. I'm not the best at it in the business, but I have worked with some of them. And I continue to work with some of the best in the business for that reason. And usually my expertise is in systems, project management, and content creation. And this is how I come into a lot of these entities or places behind the scenes, because I do those things really well in a church setting. So please put your questions in the chat. If not, we're going to shut that thing down. And I have been faithful and committed to my Thursdays. I know, y'all, this was early. But I had to come in here and be committed to my Thursday. And I'm talking to somebody right now. You are overwhelmed with how to do this content thing. You don't have a mentor. You do have something you want to say. You feel like God is impressing upon you to kind of do this thing, but you just don't know how. Well, I'm here to partner and help those who want to know how, right? And learn the system and learn how to do things properly. And especially my Black and brown people, we aren't allowed sometimes to take advantage of a lot of stuff that's out here because it's hidden behind a wall somewhere. Well, I got to tell you, I've been behind that wall. And I know what they're doing. And I know how they're doing it. And I know how to do it. And so I want to be honest with you and say this takes work. It takes work to do this, but you can do it. You can absolutely do it, without a doubt. So before I got interrupted by questions, and again, if you got questions while I'm talking, cool. I want to talk about freedom and what that looks like. Because sometimes, or release. We'll talk about release. Sometimes, y'all, we're in situations, things, whatever the case may be, and we're holding on to it. It is holding on to us, and God is saying, no more. And God releases us from it. And in that release, what you'll find is this level of freedom that you have been missing because you have been fighting. So you thought the entire time. And so I want to tell somebody that if you have this internal tension inside of you, where you feel like you're wrestling like Jacob wrestled, God is setting you up that when you get released, he's going to elevate you. But you got to stop fighting God. That's the word, y'all. That's the word I want to give you. Stop fighting God in this season. Whatever God wants to do through you, allow it. Whoever God wants to remove from you, allow it. Whatever God needs to say to you, allow it. And in that allowance, God will elevate you. And you'll experience this peace. It's not manufactured, but it's from the Lord. That's all I got, y'all. I love y'all. If y'all got any questions, feel free to inbox me, man. I hope this was helpful. I hope you benefited from it. There go my boy Ivy. Oh, we got more questions. We got more questions. I'm gonna answer them. All right. So let's see. I was gonna say, hey man, get up out of here. Thank you, Ivy. How's your lighting set up? We see backlights. What's shining on you? Or are you using a room light? Good question, brother. I want to show you. I do. Here's what I would do. There is a square light. Okay, so let's talk about it like this. So I have a whole setup around me, and it allows me to mount things up around me so that it can be presented and make me look a certain way. To the right of me, let me see what my light moves. I'm a camera move. To the right of me, it's finna move, y'all. So I just prompted it. To the right of me, there's a square light that I've had for years. And it's a battery powered light, and it's also electronic. So I use this because I wear hats a lot, and I don't want to have like this visor where it's dark. So I use this light that is shining on me. It shines to the right of me, and it gets everything over there while giving a negative impression here in terms of lighting on my left side. So to combat that negative impression, there's a light above me that shines to kind of kill some of that negative impression. So it's not all the way dark on the left side, and it's not all the way dark on the right. The blur that you see in the background is totally through the camera. Okay, that's through the camera. The blur. As it relates to the other lights, this light right here that's purple, that's a newer light that I have in the room. But this light is unique because it could change colors. I think I've talked about this light before. I love this light. I can change the colors of this light to be whatever I want it to be. Right? And then change it back, which gives it a nice rich tone. Now again, it's dead daylight behind me, but you don't know that. That's a square light in the corner that is red. I have a couple of those that I have around the house. Matter of fact, I can show you. That square light look like this. You can't see it, but it looks like this. And I'm able to pop these on, pop these off, move these around as I need to move my room around. And that's kind of my lighting setup. And if you notice, my lights are set up in 4 corners. Corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4. Now, why is it set up that way? Because I'm creating what's called depth of perception. It looks like my room is huge. How I have my light set up, it makes it feel that way. It is not. So I hope that answers your question. My light setup, I think the light above me is a newer light. This is a newer light. I swear by newer. That's not a newer light. That camera is a newer light. So all my lights are newer for the most part. So I hope that answers your question. Man, stop fighting God. Stop fighting God, please. TK Anderson, salute. Salute, brother. My sister Robin, been riding with me since day one. Internal tension. Stop fighting God. Listen, I am notorious at this fighting God thing. I be having a whole nother expectation with God or another viewpoint that I feel like it needs to go in, and God is saying, no, not right now, not the time or the effort. Okay? Because I'm trying to set you up. Here's the thing, what happens is when we have that internal tension, when we have that release and that freedom, we experience the elevation of God. sometimes expedited, right? Because now there isn't a room to fight. You are on assignment. You are doing what God has asked you to do. And I can't stress enough, God is not trying to fight us to get us to walk in faith. It is us fighting him. He just wants us to walk in faith. Walk with your belief. Walk with a thought process. That's what he wants from us. You know what I mean? So I hope that helps you. I hope you understand that. You sitting back waiting, fighting, stressed out, and God is saying, prepare to be departed. Prepare to be released. Some of y'all, in the area of release, you don't prepare. You got to learn how to work and be frustrated and still work. Some of y'all don't work. You just stop. I'm going to keep moving ahead at my goal. And that's always to please God. Always to please God. Always to make his name greater than my own. Always to help some church that can't help themselves. Always. And let me tell y'all, since I've been on this journey and I've gotten out of public sector work into private sector or nonprofit work, God has opened up so many doors. And I used to worry, y'all. God, why am I not preaching like I used to? And God was saying, because you have a platform and you won't be consistent with it. I used to worry about all of that. And then I started looking internally and started making these fixes for myself. And God was providing the increase the entire time. Stay faithful to what God has you. And when it's time for you to experience the release of God, don't even talk trash about where you've been or where you're going. Let that go too. Because some of y'all have been released from God or released by God, and you still want to talk about your past. Your past has nothing to do with what God is trying to do in your present. Focus forward. Lean in. Do what God has assigned you to do. And watch him open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings that we can't receive, y'all. I hope this was helpful. This was good for me. Anytime I'm on a microphone, man, it's therapy. Straight therapy. So I hope you guys got the information you needed. Equally, we're able to build more content and really please God. So salute. I love y'all. And if you got more questions or concerns, put them in the chat. We'll get to them. I love y'all. Peace.